Hey Clashers, droids have been nerfed quite a bit yesterday, and as always, Supercell's released that to the worst possible moment because right when the Clan War League started. So I want to share a couple of tips and tricks for you how you can use this nerfed droid with the Super Witches together, and if you follow those little steps, trust me, you won't feel big of a difference. The first thing is with the Barbarian King. You can still go with the Spiky Ball and the Earthquake Boots, but something which I like a lot is as well the Gauntlet. With the Spiky Ball, you want to delay that King ability for the core. With the Gauntlet, I like to use it early on to open up the first set of walls. And at the same time, you will have a really beefy King tank for 17 seconds, which is massive because this allows you to delay some druids. As well for the Queen, nothing really changes. The healers in combination with the Magic Mirror or the Frozen Arrow are going to be great for you to have her flank around the village. Warden, staying the same. Fireball and Rage Gem, while for the Royal Champion, we're still as well going with the Haste Vial and that Hog Rider Puppet. But in gameplay, this is where you have to be a little more careful with how you're spacing out the droids, but I will show you exactly how that's done so that you have no problems whatsoever to overpower every single base there is in Clash of Clans. And the biggest change really is how you're going to deploy your droids. But let's start things off with this base. Pretty classic base, like we have no defenses on this area, which means the Fireball is supposed to be harder with this. So let's just see if we can make something else then with this one. I think we're still going for the cheap Fireball. I like still to go for those cheaper Fireballs. We don't have to go anything crazy. Let's use the Warden. Let's use the Fireball, just going for that compartment. And then as soon as the Warden is fun a little bit, let's just get it in here. Let's do the funneling at the bottom side. And let's add the Witches. So everything as usual. Let's as well start this right here. Let's add already 2 droids because there's quite a bit of damage. And then let's hope that the King actually is going into that base. Yes, he is. No, maybe. Yes, hello, come on. Get that funneling right. Yes, perfect. No, no. Come back. Please. No, King, where are you going, buddy? Let's just distract this monolith quickly. Let's raise this up so the droids can actually keep our witches alive. And I think King ability right now, so everything is open. And that's what I mean with, like, I have now for 17 seconds this King tanking everything. Take a look at this. He barely takes any damage. This is just perfect for us. We can as well use the Queen. So she's doing quite a bit of, like nice job. At this point, we don't even have to jump because we would jump into the Town of Poison. So we're trying to avoid that. Let's use another. Do we even? I would just race to the town was going down before the Ice Golems are approaching my witches. The King is going for a wall. The Root Riders are now overtaking. So we still have that jump. Again, wall break that Queen in, by the way. So she's taking some more threat from, like some more damage from the inside there. Root Riders are opening up the compartment, and then we can jump on the back end. Things look great. I mean, as I said, it's all about the spacing. If there's a lot of damage, use 3 droids instead of 2. Make sure that you're timing your rages. That is the biggest deal with this strategy. If you're timing your rages well, you are going to be fine. We have the Royal Champ. Let's just use her at the top side. Let's hope that she's not going to catch every single, like, trap there is in the village, but so far so good. Let's just use that invisibility spell. Okay, with turning them invisible, everything is now on the Royal Champ again. I am so sorry, Royal Champion. I feel like you are really not treated well in this video, but it is what it is, right? Witches are just keep moving forward. We have still plenty of spells to support her. Let's just freeze this so the Queen is not as annoying. We have still 2 of those witches alive, and they're doing fine, right? And that's really the thing. Obviously, you're not going to get as many crazy overkills anymore, especially on bases which are somewhat try to like build against the Fireball, not giving you too much value. But you will be still fine. Like you see it right here. We have went for the classic Fireball, for the funneling, for the setup, and then instead the twist, in my opinion, really is use that early King ability with the Gauntlet together. I quite like that. You can as well go still with the Spiky Ball. Don't stress out. Like, I'm not saying that there's another meta shift when it comes down to the equipments or whatever, but I know that most of the people have the Gauntlet upgraded and more people than the Spiky Ball. This is why I'm using the Gauntlet in those guides. If you have the Spiky Ball, try to switch the jump with the Earthquake Boots, because this means then you have more buildings closer together in the core, and this then really enables the high damage possibilities for the Spiky Ball. But let's move on with the next attack and see what we find. Well, this second base is not looking the best. It's still season beginning, but hey, we take it anyways, right? Like, not everyone is in higher legends, so we have to face those bases as well. And it's a double Invis Tower base, which might result in some problems for some players. First things first, I think we could try to actually go for one of the Invis Tower setups. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a warden walk from this top side. The reason is that we can enter with our witches into the eagle compartment. For that, though, we have to make sure that we're taking down the Arch Tower, and then with 2 Invis spells, we should be able to get that fireball right into the center, just like that, and we take down most of the stuff right there. Next step for us is going to be the witches. Witches from the top right side, 1 druid to make sure that there is already a little bit of healing. We can use that wall break, and then this is why I love that that skeleton spell. If you're going into that monolith early, you can just add it and you will be completely fine. So far, we're looking really, really good. And now we're already getting to the first tip, which I can highly just like tell you with this strategy. If you're having a lot of damage on your witches, instead of having to use now, let's just use the king ability so we're getting through the first set of walls. Instead of having to use 2 droids with the rage, you now have to use 3 droids if there's like a rage tower section or something. So you have to be careful with that. For us right now, there's not as much damage, but I still want to rage up the droids. Let's just redeploy 2 more of them. And, well, eventually we should get further into that core. We still have quite plenty of troops left, which looks good. Let's just re-add another 2 droids and get another rage in here. Oh, where's the queen, by the way? Oh, she's down here. Let's just use her ability. Everything is still fine. Let's just freeze this. And we have another rage to empower our witches yet again. And this base should be just completely crushed. Obviously, having invisibility on our bases is not like the biggest deal for this strategy. It was not before the changes. It was not after the changes. Not really anything has changed in that regard. But yeah, let's just... What do we even rage? I think at this point we could just swag it, whatever. Let's just give some love for the Royal Gem because she's struggling inside. Like, she has caught pretty much every single trap there is in this base, right? Like, Tornado Trap. She has caught the Giant Bomb treatment and everything. That is just crazy. Poor little Royal Champion. But hey, getting the job done versus the space, no problem whatsoever. And, well, let's see what we find next. Let's see what we find, what type of base, and how you should approach those. Let's go. Well, oh well, it's start of the season. This base looks interesting. Wait, no, that's actually a really, really old classic base, which I think was really, really popular, especially during the Super Archer Blimp times, because it used 2 poison towers, I think, around this area or something. But hey, let's just get this done with Super Witches. How do we do this? I think we could just go for the funneling right here. Let's just do this. So, like this, let's hope that there are no Tesla. There is one, which is fine. Let's just use the Earthquake. Fireball. Let's go. Nice. Now the witches in here. Oh. I will just turn that warden invisible in just a second. Yep. So the expo is redirecting. Queen with the siege barrack and the king. Everything to push into the core. Let's try to get the wall break. We're getting that wall break. That's amazing. Let's add another druid. Let's hope that they're healing eventually the warden, which they're going to do. That's great. Really appreciate that. And now everything should be open. The Invis Tower again should be quite annoying, but I think that should be alright. We still have as well the King ability, which we can use in just a second to get our Mega Tank. Let's go. Mega Tank, 17 seconds, minus 55%. That's just crazy. Let's just add more droids because we're just getting into the danger zone of that Town Hall. So we can still use the Skeleton spell for this Inferno Tower. Let's just redeploy, or like reinforce that Queen with the Royal Champion. Let's just use it right here. It seems like everything wants to go into the core. Let's just add another 2 droids. But I think so far we're still fine. Just keep raging those droids up. And as long as you're getting the new pacing, okay? Like having it 25 seconds now, instead of the 30 seconds which you're got used to, you're not going to feel that big of a difference. If you can adapt to that quickly, you're going to be so fine with this strategy still. But that is the big downside, right? Like, this is the big argument, which I can understand 110% of the community. The timing of this balance change. Because, obviously, not everyone is going to, like, see the changes and, like, oh, yeah, I have to deploy my droids 5 seconds earlier. No, at this point for a lot of people, it's like muscle memory. When to deploy and how many droids to deploy. And that takes time to understand and to learn. And the timing because of that is just really, really awful with the balance changes. And that's, I think, the biggest problem. I have to say, I have no understanding for those people who were complaining about the droid nerfs before they were even there. I think I called them crybabies, and I stand by that because, like, how can you say that something is dead without ever playing it? Like, how is that possible? People did that with the first Root Rider change. They're not dead, surprise. Second Root Rider change, same story. Surprise, they didn't die. Third Root Rider nerf, surprise, they're still there. Like, I don't even, like, at this point, like, people are just keep forgetting everything which happened, like, 1 day ago. It's kind of crazy, but yeah, I guess it is what it is. But I 110% understand the complaints that the timing of this balance change is not optimal whatsoever. And again, the communication of Supercell is, how do I put it in a nice way? It just sucks. It's just really, really bad. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. I really hope that maybe those couple of things which you have to like pay attention to with the droid timings and like how many you have to deploy in your attacks will save you a couple of stars in the Clan War League. I really hope that everyone is having as good as possible Clan War League, depending on like, well, the circumstances. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys back tomorrow with the next Clash video. Until then, see ya and bye-bye.